Good morning, everyone. My name is Mery Gaviola from BEEd-1A, and today my presentation is all about global citizenship. So, what is global citizenship? It is a way of living that recognizes our world is an increasingly complex web of connections and interdependencies, one in which our choices and actions may have repercussions for people and communities locally, nationally, or internationality. It is all about encouraging young people to develop the knowledge, skills, and values they need to engage with the world. Global citizenship nurtures personal respect and respect for others wherever they live. It encourages individuals to think deeply and critically about what is equitable and just and what will minimize harm to our planet. In other words, global citizenship is being a responsible and active member of a global community. A global citizen of the world through global citizenship is being a citizen of the world. It takes more than just caring about the global issues. As a global citizenship, you have to support and care for humankind, and as a whole, global citizenship is the willingness to fix our world in order to be better. As Albert Einstein said, the significant problems we face today cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. Which means global citizenship is about attacking issues with higher thinking. What is a global citizen? A global citizen is someone who is aware of the wider world and has a sense of their own role as a world citizen. It is someone who respects and values diversity. This means that we should respect and recognize our own differences and don't be hostile with other people and have that empathy and respect. And also we must also believe and put it in our mind that all people are equal no matter where they came and where they belong. A global citizen is someone who has an understanding of how the world works. Learning and understanding how the world works can somehow help us to take a step or an action on what we contribute or do change our world for us to help being closer to one another and feel connected. A global citizen is someone who outraged by social injustice. Means when something occurs to some people that they perceive as unjust, unfair, excessive, or otherwise inappropriate. A global citizen is someone who participates in the community at a range of levels, from the local to the global, and willing to act to make a more equitable and sustainable place. A global citizen is someone who takes responsibility for their actions. Taking responsibilities for actions, be it personal or indirect actions, can be a way for us to receive respect and trust from other people. So we have two kinds of global citizens, which is individuals and corporations. Individuals is to share a set of values and responsibilities, while corporations focused on globalization and seem to have left global citizenship behind. For individuals, it refers to the individuals who are still in the process in accepting their responsibilities as a global citizen. And for corporations, these are the set of individuals who already accepted the responsibilities as a global citizen. Rights and responsibilities of a global citizen. The rights of a global citizen are embedded in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. However, the rights of a global citizen changes over time because of the changes that occur in political, economic, and social fabric of society. Also, some rights were emerged, such as the emergence of digital access rights, LGBT rights, and environmental rights. Number 1. Responsibility to understand one's own perspective and the perspective of others on global issues. It is the responsibility to global citizens to understand this different perspective and promote problem-solving consensus among the different perspectives and the building of common ground solutions. A global citizen should avoid taking sides with one particular point of view and instead search for ways to bring all sides together. And this means that we should have an understanding in our differences in social, cultural, and political practice, and also in our perspective in economy. Number 2, responsibility to respect the principle of cultural diversity. The multiple perspectives that exist with most global issues often are a reflection of different cultural belief systems. Each of our major cultural belief systems brings value added to our search for solutions to the global issues we face. So respect is an important trait of a global citizen. We already know that we have a different cultures and traditions, so we should respect it as it is their own beliefs. And we also need to make an effort to understand those cultural differences so that we can avoid those cultural issues and for us to have a better community to live in. Number 3, responsibility to make connections and build relationships with people from other countries and cultures. Global citizens need to reach out and build relationships with people from other countries and cultures. Otherwise, we will continue to live in isolated communities with narrow conflict-prone points of view on global issues. So we are now living in the internet world. In just one click, we can easily identify the traditions and cultures without traveling into other countries. We can also easily build connections to foreign countries through the help of the internet. And by this, we are not isolating ourselves from the development and progress. 4, responsibility to understand the ways in which the people and countries of the world are interconnected and interdependent. Global citizens have the responsibility to understand the many ways in which their lives are interconnected with people and countries in different parts of the world. Responsibility to understand global issues. Global citizens have the responsibility to understand the major global issues that affect their lives. For example, they need to understand the impact of the scarcity of resources on societies, the challenges presented by the current distribution of wealth and power in the world, the roots of conflict and dimensions of peace building, the challenges posed by a growing global populations. Number 6, the responsibility to advocate for greater international cooperation with other nations. Global citizens need to play activist roles in arguing greater international cooperation between their nation and others. When a global issue arises, it is important for global citizens to provide advice on how their countries can work with other nations to address this issue, how it can work with established international organizations like the United Nations rather than proceed on a unilateral course of action. 7, responsibility for advocating for the implementation of international agreements, conventions, treaties related to global issues. Global citizens have the responsibility to advocate for having their countries ratify and implement the global agreements, conventions, and treaties that they have signed. 8, responsibility for advocating for more effective global equity and justice in each of the value domains of the world community. There are a growing number of cross-sector issues that require the implementation of global standards of justice and equity. For example, the global rise in military spending, the unequal access by different countries to technology, the lack of consistent national policies on immigration. Global citizens have the responsibility to work with one another and advocate for global equity and justice solutions to these issues. Through global citizenship, we can build our own global awareness and to make a wide reception to timely and relevant topics of what is happening to us. A global citizenship gives us the opportunity to understand our differences and how to be able to adapt to those beliefs and values. Young citizens usually don't even know what is really happening outside, and that often causes misunderstanding. That's why this newly found global awareness is a great tool in communicating. Global citizenship helps young people to challenge ignorance and tolerance. Through this, we may have developed the ability to partake some controversial issues that other people often ignored and tolerated. A global citizens help young people to get involved in their local, national, and global communities. A global citizens help young people to develop an argument and voice their opinions. Sometimes we people are usually so praise our own capability to make an action in staying silent to some issues, but this is not good because we are given the freedom of action and the power to make a difference and to change something, and this is the thing that as a global citizens often develop.